music's coming out. How do you feel about that?
Excited, mostly excited. And it's been a little crazy with the last little push for the album. But every day I'm just like reminding myself this is a moment that I've been waiting for. Just so like enjoy it as much as I can.
Taking it all the way to the very end, because we kept getting versions of music, obviously super under lock and key, and they'd everyone was very clear, not final. Not final. And it's like 3 days ago, another version, not final. I'm like, yo, Jenny's pushing this to the very end. This is fire. She's literally in the studio till 4 a.m, like it's not done. Literally?
Literally.
So how do you feel now it is? Was it hard to let it go? Was it hard to say, okay, it has to go, it has to be finished at some point?
I think that was the biggest lesson that I might have learned off of this album, is that knowing how to stop and kind of limiting myself some time to accomplish something. And I'm not used to that kind of environment. So definitely.
Must have been really nice actually to start a process and do some real diligence, some real work into what you want to say and who you want to say it with. And success and pace are great. But it must have been really nice to start this and just know you had some time.
Because I'm also so used to just going and after just keep going. Like you said, when I first started working on the album, I was like, wow, I have a whole year. Like, I have all the time. And then once I got in the studio for the first time, that's when I was like, oh my God, I'm already running out of time. And this is like a year before this.
I'm so glad you said that, because I was thinking this album covers so much of who you are for the first time. It says so much about who you are, from the fight to the fragility, from the beginning right to the very end. You must have got in there and just been like, how do I make sense of all of this?
I was, first of all, very shocked. And I didn't realize how much I've been distant from myself throughout the years. So I really got to, the greatest part of this solo project for me was that I had time with myself. And I never had time for myself, which was great. So, I really got to dig deep inside of who I am and what I am and, all the self-reflecting times. And that's how the album was made, by really just understanding me better.
It's real work, that.
Oh, so much. And the most difficult. Like, nothing was easy. So many new emotions that I got to learn, and throughout that, it needed so much energy. And I didn't realize that. To me, it was mostly like, what kind of words do I want to put in? What kind of sound do I want? I didn't realize walking into the studio was more about knowing what I want, what I really want.
All of it as well.
Yeah.
Not just like working with someone who gets you on the day. And it's like, oh, we've got a good vibe here. This is a cool track. It's like, no. Every step on this record has to tell another part of your story. And you're right. I think when people say I'm working really hard, work is a distraction from self-work. So it's like, who am I actually? Harder work in a lot of ways.
No, definitely.
We don't get a song like Twin without that. And we're gonna get to that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a real one. And I think, a lot of people will respond to the honesty on that, but we got to start somewhere else. And the album's called Ruby. And it's one part of a longer name that became a part of your identity, if the story is correct, when you were young and you were trying to figure out who you were. Tell us the story behind that. You were in New Zealand at the time, or this is even earlier than that?
This is when I wasn't living in New Zealand. And back then, I guess in the back of my mind when I was like 11, knew that I want to create this identity for myself. Like, Jenny wasn't doing justice for me. And I was like, I want a longer name. So that's how it was created. What I didn't realize over time was I almost manifested this throughout my years. Like, I knew who I wanted to be at a very young age on. And then it was just a matter of what's gonna make you realize. So that's also one of the reasons why I landed and I picked the name Ruby for this album. But there's just so much inspiration behind that too. It's not really only about me representing myself, but to me, it felt like a new chapter opening, and I really spent my time referencing many different things about the album, and that's when the play of As You Like It by Shakespeare came in. Instantly, when I saw the title As You Like It, it just spoke to me so much in a way. I was like, wow, I don't know what I like, on the same subject as before. So I told myself, I'm going to make this album as I like it. I don't care what anyone else is going to say about it. So that's where it began. And since I started
I got to drop on that. That's profound. That's a huge moment. That's a huge moment for you because you're immediately, from what you're telling me, it feels like divorcing yourself, removing any previous expectations or successes and putting it really squarely in a very simple phrase. Does it move me? I want to talk about the manifestation side of it a little bit more. How old were you when you moved to New Zealand?
I was 9.
On your own?
I was 9 on my own. So I recently found out that my mom spent 2 months with me in the beginning of my trip.
Wow, and you didn't remember that.
No.
She reminded you of that.
How I remembered it was I went to New Zealand, I was crying for 2 days, and then I suddenly stopped crying on the 3rd day and enjoyed my life there. Ever since then, that's how I remembered it. And my mom told me, no, I was with you for the first 2 months. And then the 2 days were when she left back to Korea.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how we compartmentalize these things and remember them? It's a survival mechanism.
I know. I was very shocked when I heard this.
It's a wild story because, and we're going to play catch up very quickly, but I haven't had, this is the first time we've met. And the story is just so interesting to me that you would make the decision ultimately when given the opportunity to live in New Zealand on your own in order to learn a new language, understand things better. Is this all part of the same manifestation? Was this part of the plan looking back on it now that you maybe didn't even realize that you felt you needed these building blocks? Wow.
Which also tells me how much my mom has been such a big supporter of mine. She, from a young age, we traveled a lot. And when I was 9, we were traveling around Australia and New Zealand. And just the fact that she wanted me to have an open eye for the world, not just in Korea, is also very rare in a Korean culture.
So hard as well for any parent in any culture to say goodbye to their children at that age. It's such an important age for the bonding of parent and children to say, I understand you have a desire to be elsewhere to learn something new. Huge. That's huge.
Every day I'm so grateful that I had my mom with me the whole time, and maybe the fact that she named me Jenny in Korean is a very also rare thing for a Korean name. It's a rare Korean name. So I'm almost like, wait, was my mom a part of this manifestation with me the whole entire time? And I didn't know. Yeah.
Being unique is awesome as you grow older and your identity becomes your own. And you're like, hey, I'm Jenny. That's rare. My story is rare. There's all these rare things about everybody. But when you're a kid and you're trying to sort of find your place in society and in life, those things can sometimes feel a bit isolating. Was it hard knowing what you wanted out of life while your friends and your peers were just being kids?
Maybe towards the end, and maybe that's why I knew that's when I needed to go back to Korea, was because I knew that my life, my school life in New Zealand isn't what I want in my life at that point when I was 14. So I think I knew the limits pretty early, and yeah, so I got to make my decision.
You obviously have an incredible inner strength, and there's also a side of you which is there's a sensitivity to the way that your fans and people see you, right? It's like this really interesting paradox between strength and vulnerability. I feel makes up your music. It's really evident here. Do you recognize that? Is that a good sort of observation in terms of your personality, that there's this fierce side to you, but also this side of you that's kind of sensitive?
I think that's one of the things that was a struggle for me last year, was understanding that balance of vulnerability and the braveness that I have. I kind of now wanted to really give time and understand what triggers me that way and what makes me feel both things, and learning about vulnerability is I think the closer you understand that emotion, the braver you become because now you know. So there's nothing to be afraid of.
And when you listen back to this album, do those emotions rise to the surface still? Because this album means so much to you that we will never truly understand because of the journey you've been on.
I don't know. Like it's interesting because now that I'm almost at the end of my album,
It's not finished yet. What are you doing?
I'm crazy.
Not final. Not final. You're killing us out here.
I don't know. I mean, the fact that I still see something, that I hear something, I am pretty amazed at myself. But you know, that's how dedicated I am. That's how sincere I am, and I like to believe I live with no regrets, and I live my life to the fullest, even when it comes to any other things in life. So I just want to feel that way once when it's March 7th.
You're an adventurer. I mean, you can't be 9 years old and travel on your own to New Zealand and figure out your way in a foreign country and try to understand who you are and who you want to be unless you have a desire for adventure, right? You've seen so much and experienced so much already. What was it like not traveling and just, I mean, I'm sure you traveled in the process of making the record, but it's different kind of travel. How did it feel to stop?
Well, surprisingly, I still managed to be traveling. But I did spend a lot of time out here in LA for the first time in my life. And I really got to experience the city and the people out here. You know, I'm learning. Like, it started it off amazingly. And then the more I spend time, I'm just being more attached, and there are things that I like and don't like now. So I think I can surely say now I have, like, LA is a space in my heart, a home kind of vibe.
What was the first song that you feel began to unlock the identity of this album and really made you realize, you know, all this work I've done up to this point is going to matter?
It's Zen.
Huge. One of my favorites, hands down.
Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you.
I was surprised it was a Lucy. I was like, that's a smasher. And you were like, no, here's the video. Moving on. I was like, well, this album better be serious because that's a killer. I love that track. And I love the intensity you've built around that concept. You haven't leaned into what it looks like on paper. You've created your own version of almost like Fight Zen.
Wow, with Zen, there is so much to talk about. But when Zen came along, that's when I knew, oh, my album is Ruby and it's happening. And that was maybe like 6 months into spending time at the studio every day.
Oh my God, that's tough after 6 months, wondering like, when am I going to get an answer?
Every month just got more harder as time went by. I felt more anxious. I felt like something was coming, chasing after me when this is something that I started. So I started, I lost myself in my head. And then I met this amazing writer called BB. She played a very big role for my album. She really opened up to me, and I learned to open myself up to her. And we just had a great time. And that's when Zen came along. And after many conversations that I had with her about our true motivation, our inspirations, and our just life, we clicked pretty quickly, and then with the message and the words in Zen was done in such a delicate way. It was made in such a delicate way, but to be expressing it in such a loud, fierce way. I think that kind of represents who I am.
Yeah, there it is, the fight and the fragility again. It's that paradox, right? It's that paradox of those two things. I know that you are a committed, curiously spiritual human. I know you're searching for holistic ways to stay balanced all the time. And I want to talk a little bit about that side of your life, because it seems to me that not just physical health, which is a part of training and working out and staying fit for the stage and doing all those things, but you understand the importance of inner health as well. When did that sort of start to become a priority for you?
I think it's something that I've always been curious about, and something that was on my mind, telling myself, like, you need to learn about this. But I just never had the time, and there wasn't people around me who understand that world of our inner mental health. And I think that's maybe what it was kind of not dragging me, but frustrating myself throughout some years. And during pandemic and over COVID is when I was forced to be at home and learn about myself a little bit. And as soon as that space opened, the first thing I wanted to understand and know about this life was, why do I feel this way? What is this negative feeling? Where is it coming from? And then from there,
That's so big. That's the biggest one ever. When you get that feeling and you're not quite sure, the first thing that you have to ask yourself, at least in my experience, is what is that feeling and where is it coming from in my life? Like if I can pinpoint the moment where I think I can connect that, I have a better understanding of what's driving it.
So that was the moment that I remember distinctly when I started learning about it. And then from then on, it was a whole new world opened up. And that's why I'm here feeling strong and confident and healthy, is because of those times.
Yeah. Where are you getting your information from? Not just listening to yourself, but are there books that you've been reading? Are there podcasts? I mean, that's a lifelong pursuit, trying to better understand through the teachers how we can live with more balance.
I think back then, I didn't even realize that I needed anyone to teach me or give me information on it. I was still at my wondering phase. So the more I started talking to people about it and making friends that understand when I say, I'm struggling, I'm not sick, but I'm struggling inside. How do I fix it? Like the more I got to meet more people around the world and make friends, that's when also I realized, I grew up in New Zealand. I went to school there. So there's still a side of me where, I'm just a kid in New Zealand, and I'm from a multicultural background, and I grew up with the Blackpink girls. I'm so used to being inspired by different cultural people, and I think once I started understanding, I became less shy of a person when I talk to people and things like that. Just meeting people over the years, meeting the right people was what helped me a lot throughout. Yeah.
Did you feel like you had to be the leader when Blackpink began, not because you were given that job or because you even wanted that job, but just because of the life you'd already lived, having lived away on your own, learnt to deal with things on your own up to a certain point? Did you feel protective of the band, like there was a role that you just fell into?
Up to these days, Blackpink don't have like an official leader, which is not common for a K-pop group. Is I think also back then there was a side of me where I thought, I know this so well. I know what to do and I know how to do it.
Let me do it.
Yeah,
let
me.
I got this.
But yeah, there's a side of me that tells me that all the time, and back in the training days. But I don't think that necessarily made me think like, for everyone, like I need to lead. But just because I was going on a clear path, it was easier for the rest of the girls to kind of see maybe where she's taking, and luckily they liked it. But yeah, when it came to like roles, I think the four of us complement each other so well.
It's incredible. That is very much at the heart of the success. Look, songs come and go, shows come and go. Relationships and chemistry is what people believe in, the human experience. And it's clear the four of you have each other's back. It's hard for me not to hear a song like Start a War and think that that's part of it.
Like, I think the inspiration behind that song is really about reminding the person of someone that you want to protect. And it could be anyone. It could be your friend, your family, your love. It could be anything that you want to protect for. But the lyrics of that song speaks to me so much, because every time in different situation you think of different people that you want to protect, and it makes you feel more full inside.
This is such a great opportunity to talk about this body of work. You know, this is a real sort of this is your personal manifesto of everything you've learned up to this point, and that's been a lot. You've learned an enormous amount already. What was the one thing that you learned about yourself during the making of this record that was the most valuable to you in the long term in your life?
Understanding my value and and believing in that is for me that was the biggest learning, because now I'm not afraid to challenge myself, because I know this is like what I tell myself. This is my mantra, like, the things to tell myself that I love myself, that I'm worth it, that I'm so proud of myself, and things like that is something that I've never experienced before. And that's my motivation. My biggest motivation is accomplishing what I dream of, and that's the most fun part. So I want to say, understanding my value was the biggest lesson.
Perfect. So what was driving you before you came to that conclusion? Are you any closer to understanding what was motivating you even from a young age to want to reach people and make people happy? But ultimately, you knew the work that it was going to take and the trade. What was driving you?
That's I should ask myself what was it before? But over time, the more I realize about myself and the motive that I have with music and who I am as an artist and how I want to change the world in my own way, things like that, I guess, was in deep side of my heart that I couldn't hear, but I think that was my motivation.
And having done that now for some time, having seen the success you can have by making people happy, what's that feeling like for people who don't get to go on stages and see the reaction that people have when you're up there? And
the bigger the merrier, first of all. Like, once you're up there feeling everyone's energy just focusing on you, I think that's just a blessing to have felt that, like you said. But I didn't realize the meaning of I'm influencing them to be happier and this positive energy. I didn't realize the
impact of it,
how heavy that was.
Yeah.
And that's also what I figured it out was, wow, I want to do something with this. And now that I understand the impact that I can bring, let me work on it and use it for a good use for my heart. And yeah, I'm not sitting here telling like I'm gonna change the world, but to have the right motives for it, I think is important. And
to make your mother proud. Yeah. Can we talk about Starlight?
Yes. Wow, you're picking all the songs that I love so much.
Well, I mean, the whole album you smashed it, but yeah, there are some moments in this record that really stuck with me. Starlight being one of those.
Oh.
You were clearly dealing with some heavy stuff to get out of your system on that, right?
And Starlight really
the Black Mystery
is the story behind it. When this song was also with BB, we talked about the heavy things. We talked about struggles over the years, but not just me. We had this bond of sharing each other's experiences and being influenced by it. So yeah, I shared a little bit about the years in what I did, and she instantly knew, like, you're here. First of all, she's like my motivator in life. Anything she says, I'm just like, wow, I agree with you, and that you're giving me power to be a stronger of myself.
And she gave you a safe space to talk about some of those experiences.
And there's a part in this song where I'm saying, but something about remember the night. Now I remember the night. Yeah.
Yes.
That part it's me telling myself never to remember this self of myself. I'm like, let's remember the night that we wrote this song and all the great ideas that came to us and the inspiration that came to us that day. Like, this is what makes us special.
It's a lonely song, though. I mean, it there's resolution at the end, a sense of like self-awareness and learning.
Overcoming that, I think.
Overcoming a sense of loneliness. And it really made me feel that. You really captured that sense of like And everybody feels this, but that sense of isolation and not knowing what to do with that. And there will be moments like that, even through all the success, where we don't know what's happening in the moments in between the Black Mystery.
I think the song speaks it all for me.
How has soul changed since you came home? Because you've been part of such an enormous transformation on the world stage in terms of how people perceive career in soul, you and your contemporaries, some friends I'm sure, who have gone ahead and done amazing things. But how have you seen it changed as someone who was born there?
It changed really quickly, by the way. It changed as soon as Blackpink debuted. And from then on, it's like my hometown in a way where I feel the most safe and comfortable, but also very strange. You know, I don't know how much I want to get into. I'm like so deep in my head, and I'm like thinking, wait, there's a mic in front of me. I'm not talking to a friend. You made me feel so comfortable.
That's kind of what I was hoping for. But
You feel so comfortable.
But equally, I respect the fact that you're creating boundaries for yourself and you don't have to cross anything.
Yeah, I was just like going through over the boundaries in my head. I'm like, wait.
You know, when I was there, and I loved soul, it had a profound effect on me, soul.
Oh, wow, did it?
It really did.
Wow.
Yeah. From the minute I touched down and drove into the city to leaving and flying out and looking at it, I remember, you know, I called my wife. I was like, wow, we got to come here one day because it's an incredible place.
Oh, wow.
But one of the things I noticed was that, you know, you and your contemporaries are everywhere. And people can say that up and down Sunset all they want, but they change that all the time. I feel like there's something with you on a digital billboard at all times in that city. Is that kind of what was going through your head just now, the balance between home and that?
Yeah, there's like nothing to hate about it. It's like you said, if you have the right balance between, and since I have my family and my friends there, that makes me feel less of the person on the billboard. It's good. There is nothing to hate about it. If anything, I'll be driving by and feeling really proud. So yeah.
I'd like to talk about the writing and producing on this record, of which you contributed an enormous amount. This isn't one of those albums where you work with people and let them figure it out. You know, your fingerprints are all over this. What did you learn about yourself as a composer and as a producer on this record? Because it has a very specific sonic through line that obviously is you.
There is still so much that I need to learn and spend time on. Like, really, it was the first year of me in the studio so much, looking at tracks and hearing different sounds and exploring different vocals. So up to now, I'm like, so what is it that you like? And I still can't explain it because I'm always in the studio being like, you know, I want to make this a little bit more
how do you communicate? What is it? Like, what is it?
It's the weirdest. So the people that I can work with have to kind of understand this language of my body language of music. I'm like, and also the different words that we use in the music world, Korean and English, is so different. So I'm like, can we make this sound a little bit, you know, like the sound when you tune into the radio? Like, it's the worst. It's actually the most, I don't want to share.
Is it the most embarrassing part of the experience for you?
It really is. I'm like, I know what it is. Like, I can hear it in my head. I'm learning how to speak that, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and what's the appropriate reaction to that moment if you're a collaborator with you? Is it to be like, I do not understand, be more clear, or is it to crack up laughing? Which one do you prefer?
I prefer the laughing people.
Right.
Because once they don't get it, then it's just silence. I'm like,
you know, my Uber's outside, and I'll just, you know what, the session's been fun and everything. I'll call you. Don't call me. I'll call you. FTS, flip that script. What was going through your mind when you wrote that one? Because it's one of the most direct songs on the record.
One of my favorite songs, obviously. That was a day where, because we were doing back to back every day in the session, so every day was just making different songs. And that day I remember it was Carly and BB and I talking about, late at night, talking about how much work that we've put into for our dreams, and the more you secure your heart of your purity, your dreams are gonna eventually come true. You just gotta believe in it. So we were like talking about this deep life things that we've learned over years, and at the end we were just like, you know what, fuck that shit. Yeah, like that's what happened. You know what, just fuck that shit. Let's. And that became a song. We wrote that really fast too.
How much fun was it to sing that the first time you did the demo vocal?
So good. And I still have fun every single time. I love the chanting background vocal that I have left in the song, because that's the truth of that song. We were literally talking for hours to come up with that topic, and we just started singing and made the song like that. So
I hope you take this the right way in which it's intended, and trust me, it's coming from a very pure place of being a fan of Blackpink and a fan of this record. And I spoke to Rosé as well, and we had a great conversation about that. It must be great to get to a point in your life where, to a certain degree, the expectations of what is appropriate and inappropriate, because you're trying to build an audience, build things, form a relationship with people. I guess my point is that may not have jumped out the gate during the early days of Blackpink.
Oh, no, definitely, for sure. This song is evidence of growth and time, and for me.
And trust.
Yeah.
And trust. And Auditalia, the chance for you to establish some independence. That is, in a weird way, right? Your framework, that backs you up.
No, instantly. And I'm surprised that all of the changes in my life happened in just 1 year of last year. But maybe I tell myself maybe this was the right timing. Like it was the right time to start a new chapter for myself and really try to build the things that I want from deep down in my heart.
Rosé's done it too. I mean, we talked about her album and what a huge growth that was for her to say the things. I mean, that's a heartbreaking record. And she went through some
She did, and I was live. I heard everything live. So, I know how sincere she was about every work that she has made. I'm so proud of everyone, and I'm so happy for everyone. I feel so grateful to be in a group with having this family of yours that are going to the same path, I guess.
With a stop on the way where you can come together and take what you've learned. And I mean, that next Blackpink tour is going to be fucking crazy. I mean, you're going to get to step into each of your individual spaces and support each other through that. I can't even imagine which ones. I'm sure you're going to do Zen because you love that.
I'm thinking on it. I haven't.
Right?
Yeah.
You got to be thinking on it.
Yeah, I haven't decided.
Twins got to be up there too.
Oh, but that's literally how I feel every time I hear. Because I've never talked with anyone about this deeply about my album. You are the first person, if anything. So I'm having this new reaction to myself.
Twin is powerful because and this is where the analysis ends, but I love the thoughts and the feelings beyond it. But I'll make this statement. It's about someone, for sure. Like, you ain't writing that song, cherry picking emotions. Like, that's a letter.
Wow. You saw right through me.
Yeah. Well, it's all in the music. It's too personal. It's Ashanti on the Beach. That's a memory.
That's a memory, yeah. That song is a very, very special song for me. Maybe the most personal song. But by the time we were done with the song, I read it back. And to me, I was like, okay, people can resonate to this. There's got to be someone that makes everyone feel this way.
Absolutely. We all have unresolved relationships and things we yearn. Straight up, you're being honest with me, I'll be honest with you. I saw someone on Thursday night at a dinner I was out with some friends. He was just sitting there with his partner, and I was so happy to see him. We hadn't spoken. There was an oddness between us for a few years. It was emotional. We both got emotional. I didn't waste any time. I just pulled it all away and just hugged him and was just like, I miss you, you know? That song is that.
Yeah, you said it in the perfect way. That's how I felt with the song.
Has it helped you pluck the courage to be able to take the right steps?
No,
towards-
100%. I think being truthful on that song gave me a conclusion, gave me a clear thought on how I felt of that relationship, and it says it all. There you go. I'm writing my letter to you.
I don't know if you're doing SNL this season or what the plan is, but that's a real one. Like, you're an incredible performer, Jenny. Everybody knows that. And as a member of the band or on your own, you know, you own the screen and you own the stage. It's so amazing, I'd imagine, for you to be able to play that live and just do the opposite.
I'm excited.
You brought some friends along. I love how you chose your collaborators really carefully. You got old friends in there, Dominic Fike. I feel like you guys had the best Coachella weekend ever that weekend. I feel like I kept seeing, because I know Dom, I kept seeing Dom and you guys in different parts, and it was like you were just part of the 100,000 people. It wasn't even like you were performing. I was like, is anyone watching these guys? They're just literally running around this festival having the greatest time. What do you love? I mean, I've spent time with Dom. I went to Naples and spent time with his family. We hung out for the whole day.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty incredible. So I've had some deep conversations with him. Let's talk about your relationship with him, what you connect on with him and what you see in him.
Unfortunately, the featuring, it wasn't in person because that's what I would have preferred.
Yeah. But you're friends, right? You know him.
He's tell me Dom is like a free spirit guy. And every time we talk, I have the best time. I laugh.
Yeah, it's funny. It's really funny.
He's truthful. And, you know, the music part is, everything about it was very organic. I was just happy that he wanted to jump on. And when we were texting, he told me how much he appreciated the fact that I wanted him on my album. And I was like, what are you talking about? I feel the same. So, yeah, throughout this song, I think I've become a great friend of him now, that maybe for a future, in the future, we could really be in a studio working together and learning about each other.
But I feel like that kind of is a motivating factor for you. Like when you showed up on the Matt Champion song, we were just like, this is such a touch. Like, Matt's awesome. Brockhampton's a great legacy. But on paper, no one's expecting Matt Champion Jenny collaboration. Like, it's obviously, let's talk about this. Like, what motivates you to say yes?
I don't see a reason to say no is closer to how I can put it. Matt and I started working together on music like 4 years ago. I'm really bad with time, by the way.
By the way, isn't it amazing how like hanging out with me and your New Zealand accent's coming back quite strong now?
Is it?
A little bit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
I should only be talking to you. People are
Works for me. Works for me.
You know, I'm so sad about how I lost my accent, and
It's coming back, I'm telling you.
yes.
They're going to really appreciate you at passport control next time you roll through New Zealand. They'll be like, I told you, Jenny, she'd be back. She'd be back. She didn't forget. Yeah, you and Matt from 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, so I was clueless back then. I didn't know what working together with a different artist in a studio meant, what it was. And we just hung out in the studios for days and we came up with so many songs.
Yeah.
And some of them that I'm like holding on to because I want to put it out one day. He called it Dips in Slow Motion. There's a song that I like that we did together. So
What's that one called? Can you tell us?
Oh, yeah, it's called Navy Blue. Yeah. It's a very sweet song that I like. So, you know, we made the song years back, and he wanted to put it out. I was like, finally, let's go. Let's put the amazing work that we did together out into the world.
Yeah. Amazing. Doechii. Someone I'm sure that you can identify with, not just from terms of as a fan, but also the amount of work Doechii puts in the work. When she shows up,
exactly.
it's like the performances, she takes pride in that shit.
And that is why having her on my album means everything. It's I don't just love her music. She really inspires me as a human being, you know? She's empowering, and she's so pure in heart with her craft, and I admire that about her. So
Yeah, and also for you to have someone around you that is doing what you and your friends have been doing. That whole thing about like Blackpink or BTS, that sense, and by the way, generationally, New Edition, the Supremes, that sense of like, we're here to do our best work, our best creative work. But everyone's like, oh man, so much effort put into that, and they focus on the effort. But it's like, no, but focus on the result. Like, it's so much better.
So before we shot the video together for Extra L, it was the week after the Grammys, and I've just watched her performance, and I saw the amazing greatness that she created. And you have no idea how nervous I was for the next 1 week before our shoot. I'm like, oh my God.
Press ups.
Yeah, like I want to give her the same amount of energy.
Yeah.
When we shoot together.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that was that. I like just remember that week of me being, oh my God, like starstruck, and like I was getting butterflies before I met her for that shoot. But
She's so chill though, right?
no, we had the best time. It was actually so fun. I didn't realize how well we would blend together, like as a performer. We didn't even have to tell each other anything. Like the director would give us information on what we have to do, and we would just be like, okay.
What have you learned, have been not just part of a group, but moving in lots of different spaces and collaborating with people and wanting to perform at a high level and use your abilities and your skills and your gifts, but also know that it's got to be a collaboration. It's got to be chemistry has to be right. What's crucial to that for you? How do you perform well with other people and not just at your own level?
I think that comes from being in my group for the past 10 years. And also over the years in New Zealand, I've learned to collect information on people. Obviously, growing up by myself at school, I needed a way to protect myself. And I think it was by collecting the information around me so I don't do anything that's gonna kill the vibe.
Wow. So just observing the room and figuring out how to adapt at all times in order to just survive, really.
Really. And then on, I was in the trainee system for 6 years. That's survival right there. And that's also what I learned. And over the years of being Blackpink with the girls has taught me how to understand different people, understand that everyone is different, and that's fine. And you just got to learn about them or anything, and then just make it yours and embrace it and learn how to deal with it on your own way. And that's got to be the core thought inside of me that helps me a better collaborator with other artists.
When you think about the young people who are going through a similar training experience now that you went through 10 years ago, and I'm sure the system is better, and I hope it's better, and I hope people are figuring out how to understand the experience in a more layered way. It's not just like put in the hours, show up. Right? Do you feel that like what you're doing, what your friends are doing, what Rosé's doing, what Lisa's doing, Jisoo's doing, by coming out, making your own music, coming back together, that this is an important growth for the K-pop industry, that you're showing people that there isn't an end, that it's not like, hey, Blackpink's done its thing, next. Hang on, this is a lifelong career. Does it feel that way? Do you have that in your mind?
I think that responsibility is definitely there inside of me and all of us. It's not just the next comeback of music for us. We really believe that we are making a cultural move with what we're doing, and we want to leave a great mark for the history in the best way possible. So it was important for all of us to really understand that responsibility. I think that because there's a lot. It's a lot to be separated and then come back as a group, and to even agree on something like that is. I don't know if people understand, but is a very big decision to make for all grown up women, you know? But yeah, we pulled through, and I'm excited for what's next for Blackpink too.
Does your stomach churn a little bit in a good way when you think about coming back and doing that, moving into that machine?
I have faith in me to do it better this time. So
Interesting. What do you think you'd like to improve doing this time that you didn't? How would you like to do better this time?
I think I really want to be present with it, less, worrying, less concerns, and it's what's more fun than being on a stage as Blackpink. Like, let me enjoy this. So really, just being more present about everything that's going to go on is probably what's going to be different from before.
So glad to hear that. Fans around the world are going to just love that. I think that will resonate more than, from a Blackpink point of view, and in the few times we've touched on that will really resonate with fans. Before you say goodbye, a chance to sort of communicate a little bit about that relationship, and how do you maintain a healthy relationship with your fans? Because Blackpink fans love Blackpink, Jennie fans love you, and yet you also know who you are away from that. You talk about that on the record. There are songs about that.
To be honest, I think it's still, I treat it really sensitively when it comes to my relationship with our fans. And as much as the changes are going on with the group, I think the fans are also, they might also feel confused and not lost, but lost in the way maybe. But I think throughout showing everyone's music and our solo careers, and then when we're back as Blackpink, I think that hopefully will rebuild that relationship that everyone might feel confused about. Because as long as the four of us love each other, I think there is no reason for anyone to see us separately. But maybe in the way I do think that might have confused the fans. So yeah, I treat this relationship very delicately.
Well, all the world's a stage.
Men and women are merely players.
Yes. So play on, player.
You're right.
That's
Yep. Let me be the player.
Hey, it's been really fun hanging out with you. I knew this was going to be fun.
I knew too. You have no idea. I wanted to have this talk and just meet you, and have this talk about this album, especially with you, because I've been a fan of your interviews for such a long time. So it's been my honor to come and talk to you.